In the early 1900s, many con artists roamed America, enjoying a time when a lack of cybersecurity made swindling their victims easy. Most of the time, these con artists got away with their scams, and their victims often accepted the defeat and loss of money. But after getting scammed in 1919, a certain Texas rancher wasn't just going to let it go. J Frank Norfleet was born in 1865 in the Texas Plains. He grew up as a cowboy and eventually bought his own ranch. By 54, he'd accumulated a large amount of wealth, and he was looking to sell his ranch to upgrade to a bigger one. He headed to Dallas, where he was met by a man named Hamlin in the lobby of the St. George Hotel. Hamlin introduced Norfleet to a potential buyer for his ranch, and Norfleet and the supposed buyer headed to the Adolphus Hotel. Norfleet and the buyer came across a lost pocketbook and a $100,000 bond. The bond and pocketbook were both strategically planted by con men, and now the scheme was on. A Mr. Stetson, real name Joe Ferret, approached Norfleet as a stockbroker, offering to invest the money he had just found. Norfleet agreed, and before long he was seeing incredible returns on money he'd accidentally stumbled upon in a hotel. He was convinced Mr. Stetson was a legitimate and knowledgeable stockbroker, and to further convince Norfleet of his legitimacy, Joe Ferret, still under the alias Mr. Stetson, provided insider knowledge on the stock market to Norfleet. Now Norfleet was so confident in Stetson's investment strategies that he was putting up his own money. The con men convinced him to invest $45,000 out of his own pocket and to go $90,000 in debt. After that, the con men took off with Norfleet's money, meaning they had just swindled him out of an amount of money equal to about $1.5 million today. This group of con men, headed by Joe Ferret, aka Mr. Stetson, was used to getting away with their cons, with their victims being too embarrassed or defeated to do anything about the money. But Norfleet was different. With no experience in law enforcement, J Frank Norfleet set out to take down the entire con ring, however long it took. Norfleet decided he was going to go after the leader of the con ring first and tracked Joe Ferret all the way to Florida. He confronted him in a cafe, and things got bloody. After winning a fistfight against Ferret, Norfleet took him all the way back to Texas to face justice. Norfleet kept going and was quickly able to capture the other men involved in the con, including E.J. Ward, Charles Gerber, and Hamlin. By 1935, Norfleet had used disguises and the skills he learned as a rancher to track down over 100 criminals, all on his own. He was just 5'5", but Norfleet was now feared by many con rings and gangs across the world, as he captured criminals in Mexico and Canada, not just the US. His journey was over 30,000 miles, and he spent $18,000 during his pursuit. He died in 1967 at an impressive age of 102. But if we could still ask if it was all worth it today, I bet he would say yes.